You remember we offered you $50 or $50 worth of Bitcoin and you weren't sure.
I was sure I wasn't taking it.
Then you said, hey, I'll leave it to you. I want to set aside money for you and your brother and your sister. And I said, well, the only real choice in that situation is Bitcoin. If you had chosen $50, then today you would be able to buy $48.85 worth of stuff.
That really lends credence to your fabulous analogy, really, of the melting ice cube.
2.3% of your ice cube would have melted away by now.
Crazy.
Okay.
That makes my blood boil.
Because the government has printed trillions of additional tokens since then.
Yeah.
Since then. Every 100 days, they're another trill in debt.
It really upsets me. Oh. I have to tell you, it really upsets me. We're using such a bonehead system for our currencies. We may force the politicians to quit printing so much money. And we may even reverse that. Like if they held it steady and we grew into it, we could survive with Bitcoin. I think we'll have less criminals in Congress when money is made to behave by Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like my hope. And I'm going to say I've drunk the Kool-Aid, the idea of Bitcoin. That's the Kool-Aid. To me, it still has to play out because I'm new at this. I would have never guessed that 1 year ago today that I would be doing this. And it's also a blessing. And I'm thankful. I'm the living proof of this podcast doing what you set out to do.
Welcome to Sat Chats, the Bitcoin podcast where we chat about sats. Sats are the smallest part of a Bitcoin, the same way pennies are the smallest part of a dollar. With Sat Chats, we are building the world's biggest Bitcoin welcome center to serve as your gateway to generational wealth. So if you are brand new to Bitcoin, we want to chat about sats with you. Head to satchats.com to grab your slot in the studio today. I'm your host, Stuart.
And I'm your co-host, Anna Bevan.
And we have got the dadgum paterfamilias back in the studio here today. Number
Correct.
18 dad for his 9-month Bitcoin baby update. Show everybody your shirt, Dad.
Yes, I bought this shirt just to come back in 9 months.
Yeah.
Somebody, it might have been you or Chris, finally explained orange peel on one of your podcasts. And I went, oh, that's an orange peel? Not an orange peel? I thought it was always peeling the orange off of people who couldn't get Bitcoin because they're blocked for a reason, peeled the peeling off. Now they can receive Bitcoin. Understand? So when you said on your podcast, a cross between the blue and the red from Neo taking it.
Yeah,
I had
Matrix.
no idea that's what that was about. So I went, God, that's funny. I had that all wrong.
So Dad's from West Texas, and we talked about orange pilling pre-coiners, and what my dad heard was orange peeling pre-coiners.
That's what I said, orange peel.
So keep your eyes locked into the store on YouTube because we're going to be releasing an orange peeling the world T-shirt for all our Satillionaires who want the merch.
Yeah,
because that's too good.
It is way good.
Honestly, I like orange peeling better now, and
Me
we're
too.
just going to move forward with that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to do it.
So speaking of orange peeling, Dad, let's dive into the numbers. So you remember that we offered you $50 or $50 worth of Bitcoin and you weren't sure.
I was sure I wasn't taking it.
Oh!
Why would I take Bitcoin?
Yeah.
When you're offering me 50 smackers.
Right.
Oh.
And, but then you said, hey, I'll leave it to you. I want to set aside money for you and your brother and your sister. And I said, well, the only real choice in that situation is Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why it's like, okay, we'll do that.
So if you had chosen $50 on February 5th, then today, September 23, you would be able to buy $48.85 worth of stuff.
Ooh,
So
that really lends credence to your fabulous analogy, really, of the melting ice cube. This really shows the melting ice cube of that $50.
So if you had taken the $50, 2.3% of your ice cube would have melted away by now.
Crazy.
Okay.
That makes my blood boil.
Totally. It's because the government has printed trillions of additional tokens since then.
Yeah.
Since then, every 100 days, they're another trill in debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can even hear nation state paper in that comment and not be bothered by it.
Yeah.
Because I can separate the absolute wonder of this country with the absolute bonehead move, Jekyll Island, with the idea of let's print money against this gold and see how that works. And God, what a dumb move.
Yeah. I think it's very important for Americans who love America to remember that you do not have to love the American government issuing and controlling its own money supply to love America, the country. And quite frankly, for the large swathe of humanity, the idea of the government having its own money token is ridiculous. And most people from the Middle Ages would be like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. From the Roman Republic, this is what do you mean? You're just going to issue a random token? No, right? The idea of a government having its own money only benefits the government, doesn't benefit the country or its citizens, right? Now, that might be making your blood boil. Guess what? This is going to make your blood come back down to
deboil,
right? It's going to deboil here. You chose the 51,700 Satoshis instead, okay? Your $50 worth of Bitcoin is now worth $58.29, which is an increase of 16.573%.
Yeah. So
that means there has been an 18.9% swing between the depreciation of the dollar and the appreciation of the Bitcoin.
That's wild.
Let's ask Dad's favorite question. How does that make you feel?
That is, it really upsets me.
Oh.
I have to tell you, it really upsets me. We're using such a bonehead system for our currencies. My hope, I said this in the first meeting because it came to me then, there may be a real help for our currency as Bitcoin gets more and more adopted. We may force the politicians to quit printing so much money. And we may even reverse that. Like if they held it steady and we grew into it, we could survive with Bitcoin. But yeah, that upsets me.
Do you see them doing that though? Because now they just get to print.
If forced.
If they're forced.
And here's the thing. When you have free money like that, then every criminal, Tom, Dick, and Harry criminal wants to be in Congress. But when you only have tax revenue and it's only a finite amount that we now can spend and argue about, only quality people are going to go in and do that work of arguing for, okay, I want my state to have this much. They can't print it anymore. It's going to be too much work. I think we'll have less criminals in Congress when money is made to behave by Bitcoin. That's kind of like my hope.
Yeah. Bitcoin fixes this.
It does fix it.
Right? You can look at almost anything and say, Bitcoin fixes this.
Yep. I have so drunk the Kool-Aid, it's ridiculous.
Monty, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say I've drunk the Kool-Aid, the idea of Bitcoin. That's the Kool-Aid. To me, it still has to play out because I'm new at this. We've had 16 years now of Bitcoin, and it survived the Pharaoh years where it could have gone astray.
Right.
And it's too adopted now by too many people and too many nodes to change it. So it sure seems like it is all that has been advertised and will be all that. But I've drunk the Kool-Aid for the idea. I'm still not sure this is going to play out right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, think about this, Dad. Bitcoin has grown over the past 16 years to be the world's 10th largest currency.
Yeah,
wow.
Remarkable.
I mean, and that includes 200 plus nation states who typically, most of them have their own currency.
Right.
It includes gold and silver as well. And on this whole list of the world's biggest currencies, Bitcoin is the 10th largest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's kind of impressive.
Let's freaking go. And if America hangs on to its Bitcoin and finds ways to get more, then you could have a scenario where they let things catch up and they say, guys, we now have enough Bitcoin to account for every paper dollar we've ever printed. We're going to repeg our money to Bitcoin. We're back on a hard money standard, folks. Let's roll.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That would be crazy town.
Wow.
Right?
That's a thought I haven't had yet. That is a fabulous idea. Like, we can't unwind the printed paper to match the gold, but we could put Bitcoin on top of the gold. And now the dollar is backed by a combination of gold and Bitcoin. And
that's cool.
That is, is such a positive and encouraging thought. And that gives me a lot of hope for our money, for our currency.
And it would need to be Bitcoin, because right now, gold, in order to account for all the money we've printed, would need to be trading at $77,000 an ounce.
I was going to say, yeah, it's like, that's
impossible.
How would you revalue gold? Gold is as close as you can get to Bitcoin. And you can't, how can you revalue it? How could anybody just say, okay, this is now worth this much?
Well, the marketplace would have to determine that 1 ounce of gold was worth $77,000 in order for us to go back to a sound money standard through gold. But a mix of gold and Bitcoin is also interesting.
Yeah, I don't hate that idea.
I love that idea.
That's not bad at all.
And if they combine that with, we're not printing anymore until we get caught up, and then as Bitcoin grows, and then we'll grow our money. But I mean, that's hard to get to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hopeful that Bitcoin will change the way we treat our money, at least in Lion's generation, and certainly not mine. It'll be too late. Maybe yours. But it'd be nice if we got that under control.
Yeah. So what do you envision as changing the way, what does that vision look like for you in terms of us changing the way that we treat money?
That we value it backed by something. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know how we'd do it with gold, but you just had this, wherever that idea came from, backed by gold and Bitcoin would work.
Yeah. But guess what? I mean, if I'm me, and I am, and we reach a point where we have enough Bitcoin to back our dollar, then we have enough Bitcoin to just use Bitcoin, y'all. And don't even just let that be over, and let's just everybody use sats.
You could. I don't know. Will everybody adopt technology? I mean, are there going to be some people that need cash?
You have to.
All right.
I don't know. That's a whole different conversation, but
I can cover it real quick though, because again, I didn't cover this in the short stack, but Larry went over adoption in his book.
Mm-hmm. What is the book?
It's called The Big Print by Larry Lepard. He talked about adoption curves, and effectively there's a thesis out there that the amount of time it takes to reach 10% adoption of a new technology is the same amount of time it takes to reach from 10 to 90% adoption. And so it took this much time for 10% of the world to switch from horses to cars. And it took the same amount of time for the next 80% of people to switch from horses to cars. Okay.
That's a great statistic.
So from 0 to 10 is 1 unit of time. From 10 to 90 is the same unit of time. He showed this with the internet. It took a unit of time to get 10% of the world on the internet and another to go up to 90.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
thanks to Al Gore on that second leg. If it hadn't been for him inventing that internet, We'd have never made it.
Yeah. So he looked at Bitcoin, and basically after 16 years, we're like kind of pretty close to that 10%.
Oh.
To where he's predicting over the next 16 years, 90% are now with Bitcoin. So the internet was pretty clunky in the beginning. And honestly, cars, like what you like go to the front, you like do a little, and he actually told the story of how the like people who were benefiting from horses were able to pass some legislation in the United Kingdom that required somebody to walk in front of a car with a red flag to prevent people from getting hit. And what they did was they effectively limited the car to 4 miles per hour through this piece of bogus legislation that held humanity's progress back.
Oh man, that's funny.
Right? So people who are benefiting from the current system resist the new system. So talk to us a little bit then about your experience since coming on the show. Because again, you were hesitant. You weren't sure at the sats versus cash. You wanted that SWOT analysis that we weren't able to provide effectively for you at our level of skill. But then, some things have happened since then. How have things changed for you? What kind of journey have you gone on?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's feeling like I got to get some watch hours to make this show successful, making me listen to the show and getting orange pilled by you and Chris. And then you came over, right? You came over to help me figure out, okay, well, what would I move? This is how much we got. What should we move?
Set up Bitcoin well. We set up your Blue wallet. We got your bank connected to Bitcoin well. We got your address in
got
there.
Verified.
Right? Mm-hmm.
And so,
which took a while.
You got it figured out. I was like, okay, I'll do this. And Mom was like, no, we won't. We won't do that. And so I come up with this plan. Okay, what if we did 1% of our assets? No, I said 5%. What if we just did 5% of our assets and limit our cash at 25% of our cash? I think I said 20. We'll just put the limits on that. So if Bitcoin goes the way of all the earth and dies, we'll still have 95% of our assets and 80% of our cash. And Mom's like, nah, we're not going to do that.
Well, she comes.
So I'm like, okay,
she's 10 from you. So
what? Okay, so what can we do? Because we do all our money together now. Every dollar has 2 yeses, or it doesn't leave our bank account.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a yes and a no, it brought up as old business in our next weekly spending plan meeting. So there was no getting over there. There was just me getting mad at not being able to. Once I got it, it's like I get the idea.
I joked with Dad and said, well, now what you need to do is create your own podcast and go on a 99 episode journey to try to convince your wife to let you buy more Bitcoin. Because that was the whole arc of season 1 on this show.
Yeah. And which the funny thing is, jumping ahead here, is your mama with this game show, which just rocks, by the way. It's so much fun. And your mama loves games.
Mm-hmm.
And she loves you. And she loves your show. She has become, to win this game, she has become a Sat Chats like junkie. She just knows everything there is to know. And if anybody is going to play this game, they should have her, Jeremy for them, but her as well, because she just has so many facts of fear. And she has bought into Bitcoin now. This is helping her So we're not anywhere near my 20% of cash and 5% of assets. But so what we did was, well, what could we move? What do we feel safe at?
Mm-hmm. Dad's like, I feel safe at 100%.
Exactly. Okay. So,
all of it.
So here's the first thing Mama bought into. All right, our money's melting, but we're setting aside $250 a month for your next car. And we're up to, I don't know, 11 and 12,000. Another 5 years to go. In 5 years, that money is going to be less. And she says, okay. I tell you what, out of that 12,000, let's leave 10,000 in cash and put 2,000 in Bitcoin.
Bro.
And then it was like, okay, good. This is progress, not perfection, right?
It's literally like trying to like hammer a rock with like a spoon.
Exactly. I mean, that is like glacially slow.
Okay, but your mom feels safe with that. And I feel anger with that. But we each
But you'll take it. You'll take the 2,000. Yeah.
So it's like, well, what about going there, the 250 in the months to come? So, yeah, let's put that in Bitcoin. So
nice.
So I don't know where we are. I'd have to look on the spending plan, but from 10,000 on, it's all Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And we're looking 4 or 5 years, we'll be ready. And that $10,000 ice cube, I don't know what it will be down to, but the Bitcoin may compensate for it. So that was one thing we were able to agree on.
Okay.
And to be clear, since your show, your $10,000 cash reserve for the car is now going to buy you $9,800 worth of car.
I hope Mama listens to this show.
So you're $200 down just for having it sit there.
And, so it's like another monthly payment that you're down.
In case, and since Mama will study this show for your what's the thing called?
TikTok Next Block Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern,
so
live on YouTube.
She's going to study the show and she'll hear this. What could that 10,000 have been right now if we'd have moved it with the 250?
Yeah.
10,000 would be now 10,250.
Well, it was an 18% swing total between the two. So let's make 10, it 20%, which would be 2,000. So your 10 would be almost $12,000.
God, I was saying it was 10,000. You're right.
Almost 12,000.
We could be at 12,000. Instead, we're at 9,800.
Right, because every dollar in your bank account has two yeses, but you don't realize there's a third yes. And that third yes is an involuntary yes, which is the government saying, we're going to go ahead and need some of this, my brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem is that third yes is a no. No, you cannot increase the value of this money. You can only decrease it by holding it. That's
man.
So hopefully so that's a $2,200 we're short now because we left the 10,000 in cash.
Correct.
So when she listens to this, if that's a question on your show, maybe Mama will.
Well, we'll do this. We'll say, okay, welcome to TikTok Next Block, the live game show where you play for a million sats. Let's jump right into the question. First question: why does my mom not have a car yet? Is it A?
She left 10,000 in cash, and it went away.
Yeah. I'm going to help you,
so
Dad.
Now we have to keep saving for another. Let's see, 250.
Well, you've got
3 years.
You've got an insider on the game maker, the game making. So I feel.
You could have had 8 free months of $250 installments, but instead you have 1 month basically subtracted from.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right.
So
it's going to take you 9 months to catch up.
To
be where you could have been.
Correct. But it's all but as you catch up, the spread will increase.
Yeah, you won't
catch up.
The limit does not exist.
Nope.
The next thing we were able to agree on, and this kind of all happened when I got ready, was the security deposits for our tenants.
Mm-hmm.
We have about, I don't know, 12,000, 13,000 security deposits just sitting there, and the ice cube, it's melting.
Mm-hmm.
And when they leave, I got to give back security deposits at the current amount.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did some research on the laws of North Carolina. This is a fiduciary responsibility that you get jail time if you don't steward that money properly and have it separate. But there is no law in North Carolina says you have to give back the security deposit plus whatever appreciation came from holding it.
Okay.
So the landlord can hold that. So we were getting 0.01% interest. And so we were able to agree, yes, since we don't give those back very often, since we have very little turnover in our particular property management business, it'll sit for years before somebody wants it back.
Mm-hmm.
So we were able to agree on that. And we didn't just yeet it in. We are doing a $250 every month.
Right. So $1 cost average for your long-term security deposits.
It'll take a couple of years for it's all in Bitcoin, and then it will just stay there. Y'all will inherit it when you inherit the business. And I mean, people hardly move out. So
Right.
So I was and she's cool with that. That she was on board. The next thing we did was we set aside in our business is capital improvement intensive. When you own property, you have to pave roads. You have to build mailbox kiosks. It's just, $100,000 for paving roads and $35,000 for kiosk. Cutting down trees is $5,000. We got over 100 of them. So it's $500,000 if all the trees came down at once. So we need big money for capital improvements. And so we set aside money every month for those. And that was too big. It's like, no, I can't do that. So we got to keep that in cash. But we could do $250 a month going forward. Per week.
Oh, 250
so
is a
per week.
Very popular
250
number.
a week is sweet.
Yeah, that's working for Mama.
It's freaking sweet.
It's really working for Mama.
I would love on some 250 a week.
Yeah,
so 250 a week, and that's just. But we've kept all this gigantic amount of cash, and one of the things that it made me do when we couldn't just take this gigantic amount was, well, I got to calm down. It's just money. It's the kids' money. It's not our money. We're eating our money. We got plenty to eat. So what could I do with that? And it made me go research normal investments, and we've changed our investments. So that money is making a lot more than it did, but not near what it could be doing.
Yeah.
But for now, we both agreed on $250 a month. The other thing we agreed on was one other thing, which I can't really remember what it is.
Yeah, I thought you had like a monthly DCA for your personal. Then you had like a weekly for your business.
Tax return money.
That's
like so when the tax return money, we call it tax return money. We pay every quarter.
Yeah.
And I set aside more than we need, just for the peace of mind. And so when the CPA does our taxes, so far we always have a nice big boatload left in the savings account that we don't have to pay in because we overpaid. And every year we clean that out. Well, I came on your show February, March, taxes were done right. So we each took I want to say just like $1,000 each. And we each bought $1,000 of Bitcoin in our own wallet. So we did that too. So I think that's about it. 1, 2, 3.
This sounds
Dad's
better
just
than
been
you made
relentlessly
Yeah.
attacking every Satoshi possible.
Everyone.
And I love it.
Yeah. And I'm like a horse that you're not giving the bit to, where you're just pulling back, and not letting me have my head and go run.
Yeah.
But it hit. I'm not going to marry somebody else. I like her enough to keep her. I don't want to change horse. I want to buy more Bitcoin, but I want my wife to stick around and not, and make her vote, her one vote, her yes, her no become a yes when she's ready. And what I'm most excited, and I've gotten where I don't mention it anymore. Like on this show, I haven't been mentioning.
Strategy?
No, I don't say anything anymore. I hope I don't.
That's because TikTok next block is doing your work.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Exactly.
Mama is getting so smart about Bitcoin. She's smarter than me about it. She knows more things than I know. So,
And this is, and by the way, let me tell a story real quick, Dad, because I call Mom and Dad every night. And we talk about, hey, what was your day like? Okay, that's great. What was your day like? Okay, here's what my day was like. All right, love you. I'll see you tomorrow. And I've been present for this entire journey of Dad's, where Dad came on the show and then he read the Bitcoin Standard. And there was a while where he only read the history of money and he didn't go to the last chapter. And I was like, Dad, what are you doing? Yeah. And he was like, well, you know, traditional investments, they got some guy downtown, whatever. And Dad likes them. And I was like, okay, fine, Dad. I tell you what, I will go talk to your downtown investor dude about all these traditional investments that suck, okay, that he still believes in. If you'll just finish the dang book. Just read. Saifedean has gone through this massive arc to get you where you're ready for the point of his book, and you're not going to that point. So finish the book, man. So we make our agreement. He finishes the book, and it's like, okay, there's a you know, the beginning of Dad's understanding. Thank you, Saifedean. Come on our show.
And not just Saifedean. And in that time period, Jeff Booth came on your show.
Oh, yeah.
And Jeff Booth, I have listened to that show so many times. Just like now, I've read Saifedean all the way through a few times.
Yeah.
And I've read Jeff Booth's book.
Right.
Twice.
The Price of Tomorrow.
I've hit his twice now. And between Saifedean, between Jeff on the show, between his book, and the natural order of things getting, decreasing, getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And I could look over my lifetime and see it. Even my dad said that when, we had the black and white TV, and so happy to have that. Till I went over to my friends who was rich out in West Texas with oil and gas, and their TV was in color. It's like, oh my God, what is that? And I came home and said, Dad, there's TVs that are in color. Like all the colors, they look real, like really, this is unbelievable. I said, can we get one of those? And of course, my mom and dad are teachers. And he didn't say no. He said, yeah, we'll get one. In a few years, we'll get one. It's like, why? Why can't we get one now? He says, because in a few years, it's getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and we'll be able to pay for one. And that was my first introduction to, as this whole life, the way the world, the universe is set up. The only thing valuable is the little bit of time we have. Everything else, we figure out how to make more for less. And I have seen that. When he said that, it's like rang true, totally rang true for me. And so that kind of trifecta of, I was listening to your show, but reading Saifedean, however you say the name, Jeff Booth coming on, reading his book. It's like, and especially the thing about Jeff Booth that really got me was the 2% that could not be bought. You say, you give your word, that's your word. You're not changing for nobody. You can't change. Your integrity and your self-esteem is so intact that you will die before you don't do what you said you'd do.
Right,
Those 2%, I get that. Yeah, I get that. And there's 2% of those nodes out there that will never agree to. And so it's like, I'm in. That was the circle. And that's when I'm like, we got to buy Bitcoin. We got to buy it now.
Yeah.
We got to buy it with everything we got.
Yes.
And it's like, no. So that's when I figured out 25% of cash, 5% of our assets.
Yeah. And I was like, nope.
Nope. So I'm like,
I was like, any $250 a week, anything, please.
Yeah. So then we eased into it. And now by the time I got it, my first sats, 51,000, went to Lion, went to your show, whatever. Sats,
right,
whatever.
right,
I didn't care about it.
First to donate sats to the show.
Correct.
You also paid Lion in sats for chores he did around the house, which we love.
He did a big work day that day. That boy worked hard that day. I was real proud of his work ethic.
Yeah.
And he was hungry and kept going. And So yeah, so all my first sats, it's like whatever.
Yeah. Well, and Jeff Booth's point is, you know, you got to spin sats too. You got to make a circular Bitcoin. So you were doing it. You were doing the thing.
Right.
Yeah. Which that's not going to be me. Mine is collect, pass to y'all. Y'all spend them.
Right.
And that's still the plan. That's the only way I see this working. And I would love to give each of y'all a Bitcoin when you know we go back and to our maker.
Yeah.
And this $250 a month thing, I don't think it's going to cut it. So I'm really like, what's our TikTok next block? Come on.
Yeah,
because
convert your mama.
Well, here's the thing. You know, I could hear, you know, on our nightly phone calls, you know, dad would be talking about Bitcoin and mom would be like, no, you know, and like, you can't pressure me into this. You got to relax. And I was like, Dad, welcome to my life, brother. I absolutely, you are now where I am with Kristen, right?
And I hope I'm not that way anymore. To
Totally.
me, I've shut it down.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It may come out because I'd say things
I'm still
that
rolling.
I'm thinking, but they're coming out my mouth.
Again, it lives rent free in your brain.
Yes, it is. And it needs to stay there.
It's
and not
just constantly
around my wife. I need to be saying, I sure am glad we're only putting $250 a week in. I would hate to overdo this.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Just recently, and by like, I'm still going hard with my wife. I was like, yep, more, and I'll never stop.
No.
But recently on one of our phone calls, you know, not only did mom go through a massive arc to prepare for her spot on the game show, where she watched like almost every episode, every short stack, all of it, taking notes,
she
all
has
of
a
it.
Notebook.
She dropped by to go see Simple Steve.
She tried to get some number 60 Simple Steve to be a ringer for her in the show.
Yeah.
And she went to his bar yesterday and left a note and said, basically, you're
like a spurned lover. It's like, why didn't you be my guy?
I'm like, dang, dude. She's like gonna go tell him what for. And I'm like, I can't wait for it. And we should have some cameras.
We
should have some cameras.
That should be on the
that'd be a YouTube short.
That should be on y'all's documentary. And here's my mom, orange peeling people on the street she doesn't even know. And here's her going to Simple Steve trying to get him to come on.
And I'm like, Mom, you're embarrassing me in front of my friend. Okay? Number 60 Simple Steve is my friend. So she learned a ton. But then just in the past week or two, she was watching Mario's episode and she learned that, you know, the legislation is there for retirement plans to buy Bitcoin starting in November. And on the phone call, she said, so we need to get more because we ain't got that much time left. And I was like, bam, we got her. We got Mom.
This is going to be so fun.
She said the other day, it takes me 2 hours to get through Stu's sat chats. They're only an hour long. Says I have to stop them to write down my notes.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
she is a woman after my own heart.
She is like, this game thing has hit her, like her sweet spot of wanting to win games. And she has educated herself way more than me even.
Yeah.
Because there is a pathway to win.
Yeah.
And like, that's the part that's exciting.
She's going to be I predict she'll be the first one to win 1 million sats. That's my prediction. And the only thing is she's not signing up for her next thing. And I don't know why. She's ready.
Yeah.
And now I'll be her backup. Maybe Simple Steve. I doubt it. But he would only help with Bitcoin. He couldn't help with the shows.
No.
So I'm like,
he's too busy being a dude who found Bitcoin a long time ago and doesn't need to connect with anything that's happening in the real world.
Exactly. I'm like, what do you see in him that you don't see in me? I was like, come on. What's he got that I don't got?
You might like Mom more than Bitcoin, but does Mom like Dad more than Bitcoin?
Yeah, see,
that's the question.
That is the question.
Okay. So Simple Steve, you know, he's a young whippersnapper. Okay. You never know.
But he said he lost all of his Bitcoin in a boating accident. And I only lost a little bit of mine in that same boating accident. So I have more probably than he does right now available to her.
Exactly. One big boating
I was careful.
accident.
I did not have all my Bitcoin in my pocket when that boating accident happened. So I still have some left. So that ought to be a point in my favor.
So what are you hoping will be your update 9 months from now?
Good question.
Wow, I hadn't thought about that, but I will say that with Mom's this resurgence of interest in Bitcoin and getting comfortable with it, she has said she's more amenable. So what I've done is I've taken every line item of our spending plan, both in business spending plan and the personal spending plan, and I've earmarked them as ready for conversations of this is what we could do to move our money, especially if we have a good dip below 100 or something. We could take these chunks here. These chunks are free and available. They're available to us to move that we don't need. So I hope I'm not telling her this and pushing on her. But it's like, I'm getting ready. Here's our first move, second move, third move, fourth move, fifth move. How many are you?
How many moves do you want to make?
Yeah, are you just coming for a salad tonight, or do you want a steak? I have this meal prepared.
Yeah.
How many courses are we going?
Exactly. What level of interest? Or where are you in your Bitcoin journey? So
when we were growing up, Dad would walk around the house and he'd be like, "What is this? Crap? Throw it away." What is this? Crap? Throw it away. Right? Like he was relentless with like trying to get rid of crap around the house.
Sure.
Right? But now Dad's in his spending plan. He's like, "What is this? Crap? Turn it into Bitcoin. What is this? Crap? Turn it into Bitcoin. What is this? Crap?
Yeah.
Turn it into Bitcoin."
We have how much on that line for what in cash just in there?
Bitcoin.
You're out of here.
Bitcoin.
Get out of here. Well, Dad, what an awesome Bitcoin baby update. And I knew, I just love that you have totally become a Bitcoiner.
Mm-hmm.
Between your appearance in February and now at the end of September, you're fully a Bitcoiner. Fully a Bitcoiner.
I have been orange peeled.
We have peeled that orange off from around your head.
You and Chris have proof. What do you call it? Value for value. You have proof of work.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys have. I'm the living proof of this podcast is doing what you set out to do.
Let's go.
And there is I think there is a future audience of appreciative people. I mean, I appreciate knowing this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's real nice. We talk about currencies, and I say I can't believe I'm at the point where I'm now looking at moving money not only in stocks, not only in real estate, but into the hardest currency I can possibly find. And that's where we are in our journey now. We're investing in currency.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a surprise. I would have never guessed that 1 year ago today that I would be doing this. And it's also a blessing. And I'm thankful. I'm really grateful for you and Chris, Anna Bevan, Jeremy, this whole team, because I am proof of this podcast is working. It's a good idea. And the more Bitcoin becomes adopted, the more interest there will be in the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's go.
That's so nice.
Yeah,
well,
it's true.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for those kind words, Dad. Let's take a minute to accept those words and say thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Dad, would you be willing then to come back on 9 months from now?
You're going to do this with everybody comes on in another 9 months?
0,
Absolutely.
9 months, 18, 27. Because part of the show's purpose is to document your journey over time. So it'll be an update on your Bitcoin toddler at that point, 18 months. So would you be willing to come back on in 9 to give us another update?
Absolutely.
All right, let's recap the conversation with old Pop here. Number 18, Dad, came on the show, wasn't quite sure. What are the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, the threats? I think I'm not going to take the Bitcoin. He gave me the choice. I chose the Bitcoin for him. Since then, there's been almost a 20% difference in the depreciation of the $50 in cash.
Which I think is the biggest swing we've had so far.
Totally. Yeah, I think Dad probably the biggest. Yes.
Yeah.
You read most of the Bitcoin Standard, but didn't get to the end where Saifedean actually does the work of the book.
And I was telling people, you need to read this book. The first 7 chapters will blow your mind. My degree's in accounting, and this is the best description of money I've ever seen in my life. First 7, 8 chapters, you got to read.
Don't worry about the absolute nuggets at the end of the book. So we made a deal. You read the rest of it. That worked. Number 62, Jeff Booth came on the show. The natural state of the market is deflationary.
Incredible.
You read his book, The Price of Tomorrow, and all of that led you to a place where you realized you wanted Bitcoin. And then you were brought to my level, which is now you need to help your spouse understand, this whole thing. Really enjoyed going through like how you started allocating different areas and just kind of sharing all that with everybody who's out there trying to figure out how to work with their spouse to find amounts of money that their spouse is comfortable shifting over and just working hard at that. So
and little by slowly, just a little each week.
So you did a great job, Dad. Let's refuel here after that big old combo. And I guess, do you know what he got? Do you know what he got the first time?
I don't know what he got the first time.
Do you know what you got the first time?
No, being from Texas. Of course I know what I got. I'm from Texas. What else would I have got?
You probably got the jalapeno.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to run it back. Okay. We're going to run it back here.
What is this here?
Jalapeno.
Oh, it is jalapeno.
Mom said, he really likes jalapeno.
Oh, yeah, it is jalapeno for anybody that can't see it. Let me just say, we love Ithaca hummus in our home.
Yeah.
And not only do we love it,
Ithaca hummus.
Ithaca hummus. Not only do we love it, we promote the holy hell out of it. Wherever we go, my wife says, do you know what Bitcoin is? And do you eat hummus? Ithaca hummus. That's too quick. So we love it.
Those are critical questions.
I'm telling you, listen, guys, if you sponsor our show, it makes an impact on your bottom line. That's all there is to it.
And my wife has also adopted Chris as our son. I don't know if his parents realize that yet, but he's one of ours now, according to my wife.
Does Chris know that?
Even though Simple Steve is in the doghouse right now, I also let him know that my mom probably has officially adopted him as well.
Simple Steve is one of the kids.
Yeah.
And this is why she's on him, because he's not behaving like one of her kids should. Support her. So.
All right. I want to be adopted.
Cheers. Here we go.
Thank you.
Actually been a while.
Wow.
Such good flavor.
Wow.
Did you get a little bit of like lemon sourness there?
Got a little, the lime was there. And I think every time I have it, I'm like, man, this is real spicy.
It's so good.
So good.
Boy, that's delicious. I would eat it with a Frito. I like the Fritos, like Frito scoop more than these.
The woven wheats. The woven wheats.
So,
all right, Fritos.
Lay's Frito. I hope you're hearing this. Y'all would get a good spot here on an up and coming show.
Buy us at 84
So, Dad,
cents.
that tub of Ithaca hummus is yours to take home.
Okay, y'all stop eating this.
Exactly.
I didn't know I was getting this.
Okay.
Put the lid on it.
Yeah,
Put the lid on it.
Where's the
The
lid?
lid's right there.
Stash it.
Okay.
You also get this pack of trading cards from number 83, Aladdin.
Wow.
Who is
that going to? You know who that's going to?
Probably to Lion.
Don't tell him.
So he is at the head of BTC Trading Cards. And he makes these fun little collectible cards to help teach people about Bitcoin. Yeah. So that's for you.
Great idea. And I hope this really works and he stays with us, because this will become very popular.
Yeah, yeah. And you also get one more thing from us. And it's your choice.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I mentioned that earlier. I forgot. Yeah. Well, it's obvious. You don't know.
Wait.
Well, let's offer it to you.
We'll make the offer first.
This is the momentum de la veritude.
Excellent. So, Monty, on Sat Chats, we believe in value for value. And in exchange for your time, we like to offer you the choice of $50 or $50 in Bitcoin at 44,350 sats. Do you want to join the Pearl Collective Wall of Fame?
The Pearl Collective, what's that?
Wall of Fame. They are a sponsor of those who have been in the studio.
Yeah, you can now look, Dad, you can see all the people who have come in the studio and the sats they accepted. But if you look at lids, it just says $50. Or that might be Kitty's right there, which just says $50.
And there's Uncle Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be obvious. Even though it's not 51,000 like I was here last time, it's only 44. It's still just as valuable as when 51 because it's not a reflection on the Bitcoin. It's a reflection on the weakness of the dollar.
Let's go.
Nice.
High five, Dad.
Definitely taking the Bitcoin.
Me.
High five. High five. All right, now.
And thank you for that. That's so generous of y'all. And I appreciate Chris and him letting me take some of his money.
So your new total, Dad, 44,350 plus 51,700 from last time means that you're looking at 96,050 Satoshis stacked over time through us, which
Excellent.
means that your stack is currently worth $108.29. Okay.
That's good.
It's an 8% increase. And so if that's only 8 months, so it's a bigger increase than that on an annual basis.
Yeah, and a second ago it was a 16 or 17% increase, but you stacked at today's rates. So
Right.
together it kind of cuts that in half, but you're still out ahead. That's how dollar cost averaging works.
Nice.
Those are all zero. Those cost me zero. So they're knocking down my 10 million sats.
Yeah.
My cost basis has
Cost
now been
basis
reduced.
is coming down.
That's nice.
Yep.
All right, Satillionaires, if you enjoyed today's episode with my dad and his awesome Bitcoin journey since coming on the show back in February, subscribe to our channel here on YouTube for awesome stories like this every single day. Turn on the notifications while you're there. There's other ways to support and sponsor our show. It's all in the show notes for you. Okay? Thanks so much for spending this time with us here today. Sat Chats is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as financial advice. Also, our guests' views are their own. Until next time, keep stacking them sats.